Now at 5, a 3-year-old Southwest Missouri girl recovers after she was attacked by a dog. Plus, why students in Carthage, Missouri were sorted into houses, Harry Potter style. And fresh off the heels of the DNC, there's another shakeup in the race for the White House.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A 3-year-old girl from Berry County, Missouri is recovering after she was attacked by a dog in her home. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach, and we want to warn you, some of the images we're about to show are graphic. The 3-year-old has suffered bites to her ear, face, and back as a result of an attack from a 200-pound German Shepherd. The toddler, Sharon, was bitten through her ear canal and has gone through 1 surgery to repair the outside of the ear. Her aunt says she will need other surgeries in the future.
Very heartbreaking, very, very, very heartbreaking. And to know that the dog was still on the property up until this morning, which is 4 days after the initial attack, is very, very, very heartbreaking.
The toddler will also have to get a rabies shot on top of the surgery she will have. And Brianna wants to remind people to make sure their dogs are vaccinated. Well, meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now.
Temperatures are going to continue to climb over the weekend, so we already have a few heat advisories in most of our counties. That pale color, that's heat advisory due to heat indices getting above 105 degrees in those areas. But out near Washington County and Nevada County, the hot pink, those are excessive heat warnings. So heat index getting up to 110 and even higher than that. We are dry tonight. We have a few clouds still remaining, but overall we're going to remain clear. Temperatures dropping down to mid-70s tonight. It's a little bit above average. That continues throughout the rest of the weekend. Plus, we have a couple of rain chances in the forecast. I'll talk more about that coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Carthage, Missouri School District today took a page out of the wizarding world of Harry Potter for a house sorting ceremony. Students gathered at the Carthage Intermediate Center to be sorted into one of 4 houses, and those are Amistad, which means friendship, Revere for dreamers, Isabindi, which means courage, and Altruismo, the house of giving.
They're given a black balloon. Inside that black balloon is one of the 4 house colors, and they pop the balloon and they get a wristband for the house that chooses them, is kind of the way that we phrase it for them.
Officials got the idea from the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta. They say it's a way to make the big school feel a little smaller. A fun idea. Well, it's almost time for the rodeo to kick off in Miami, Oklahoma. Rodeo Miami kicks off tonight at 7:30. It features a mix of professional events like bull riding, as well as events for kids like mutton busting. Tonight's events are sponsored by R6 Recycling with a focus on kids watching and participating.
Just give the spectators something else to enjoy and watch. And it's a group out of Ozark, Missouri. They're called the Ozark Renegades. They're really good.
The rodeo runs tomorrow as well with a pink night theme. That means they'll be collecting donations for a community member battling breast cancer. Well, another shakeup in the race for president. RFK Jr. is suspending his campaign, but still encouraging some of his supporters to vote for him. Natalie Brand explains what this means for the race for the White House.
Yet another twist in the 2024 presidential race as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced Friday he's suspending his independent campaign, but not dropping out completely.
My name will remain on the ballot in most states. If you live in a blue state, you can vote for me without harming or helping President Trump or Vice President Harris. In red states, the same will apply.
But the 70-year-old says he's moving to withdraw his name from key battleground states where he can, including Arizona and Pennsylvania, in an effort to help former President Donald Trump.
By staying on the ballot in the battleground states, I would likely hand the election over to the Democrats with whom I disagree on the most existential issues.
Professor of Political Management Todd Belt says the impact is hard to predict.
This is still a very, very close race. The race in 2020, don't forget, was decided by 43,000 votes across 3 states. So just a little bit can make a big difference.
Trump, campaigning in Nevada, reacted to the news.
That's big. He's a great guy, respected by everybody.
Vice President Kamala Harris is off the trail today after laying out her case to the American public on closing night of the Democratic National Convention.
I promise to be a president for all Americans. You can always trust me.
Harris and Trump will meet face-to-face for their first presidential debate September 10th. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Later today, former President Trump campaigns in Arizona. His team says he's going to be joined by a special guest. The Biden administration will be sending a new aid package to Ukraine. President Joe Biden says it will include air defense missiles, anti-armor missiles, and counter-drone equipment. In a statement, the president said Ukraine will remain a free country despite the Russian invasion nearly 3 years ago. He spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today, just ahead of that country's Independence Day. Still ahead, a warning about pet products.
Designer perfumes for dogs. It sounds crazy, but it's a growing industry. I'm Michael George with what veterinarians say about the trend.
And next in Health Watch, we'll learn about a pill designed to treat the symptoms of menopause that's showing promise in trials. Topping today's Health Watch, a game of bingo this weekend could help find a cure of Alzheimer's disease. The Alzheimer's Association is hosting the Not Yo Mama's Bingo event tomorrow at the Roxy Event Center in downtown Joplin. The 70s themed game aims to raise funds for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And the Walk to End Alzheimer's will be held on September 14th.
If you think about it, when you walk into a room, you look around and you see 5 of your friends that are female, 1 in 5, one of them may be diagnosed. So I take that to heart, and I want to be able to be out there and doing as much as I can with our committee.
The bingo game kicks off at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Well, new data suggests an experimental once-a-day pill shows promise in treating symptoms of menopause. According to drug maker Bayer, 2 trials found the new drug called elinzanetant reduces the frequency and severity of hot flashes and improves sleep, all without using hormones. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder appeared on CBS Mornings to discuss the development.
Some women cannot take hormones, so maybe they've had breast cancer, heart attack, stroke. For the vast majority of women, hormone replacement therapy is safe, and I think that's really important to emphasize that because a lot of women are not using it who could be using it. But now we have some alternatives for women who can't.
The 2 main side effects seen in clinical trials for the drug include headache and fatigue, and that's after 26 weeks of use. Bayer has already submitted its study data to the FDA for approval and expects to hear back in September. As COVID continues to spread, there's another respiratory illness that's also increasing, and it has doctors sounding the alarm about a decline in vaccinations. Cases of pertussis, commonly known as whooping cough, are spreading. Stephanie Stahl has one South Jersey family's story.
Juliet Osborne's 10-year-old daughter with special needs was recently diagnosed with pertussis, commonly called whooping cough.
She coughed, I want to say, from 4 a.m. until 8 a.m.
Must have been scary.
Very, very scary.
Amani, who's vaccinated, was treated with antibiotics, and so were all of her close contacts as a precaution.
It could have been anywhere that she could have gotten it from.
Doctors say the sound of whooping cough is distinctive, and now the contagious bacterial infection is spreading rapidly. The CDC says it is 3 times higher this year than last year nationally.
The cough is severe, and you can get fractured ribs, collapsed lungs, all sorts of complications from it.
Dr. Jeffrey Polanski with Virtua Health says symptoms can be similar to having a cold with the classic cough.
And it is in the community and affects both vaccinated and unvaccinated. individuals.
The CDC has issued a call to action on whooping cough because vaccination rates have declined to their lowest level in decades. The DTaP vaccine is given to children. There's a different version for adults that also covers tetanus.
Adults need to be updated on their vaccines for this.
Yes. Yeah, it's one that is recommended to update every 10 years.
Doctors say whooping cough is especially dangerous for babies, pregnant women, and people with respiratory issues, but people who are vaccinated are much less likely to get infected.
I was upset. I was worried.
Juliet wants people to understand the potential dangers and get protected. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
And that's a look at today's health news. A little later, the Federal Reserve hints at an interest rate cut in the near future.
And temperatures continue to climb over the weekend. I'll talk about it right after this. We've had a really nice week. Unfortunately, this weekend temperatures continue to climb to the mid to upper 90s. Let's go ahead and take a look outside Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Few clouds today, but overall it was pretty nice. Temperatures did start to rise up into the lower 90s today, and through the weekend we've got a couple of heat advisories for most of our counties. That lighter pale color, that's heat advisory for heat index values getting above 105. And then you can see out in Newada and Washington County, those hot pink colors, that is an excessive heat warning, which means the heat index values are getting above 110. So it's going to be really hot. Actual temperatures in the upper 90s to low triple digits for the rest of the weekend and into early next week. Now you can see we've got a few clouds all around, but no rain. We're going to stay dry for the evening. Luckily, we do get a few rain chances in the morning. We definitely need the rain. Fortunately, it's just going to be isolated showers throughout the early morning hours on Saturday. Temperatures get up to about 96. And again, you saw those heat advisories continuing until 9 p.m. on Saturday due to the high heat, high humidity. Sunday, we stay mostly dry. It's going to be pretty hot and humid though on Sunday, and temperatures continue to climb to about 97, 98 across the region. So we got those higher humidity values. You can see storms roll in to our east. So Springfield's definitely going to get some heavy rain. You can see where that green band is. Those are rain showers. The rest of us are getting above 100 or above 40% of humidity, which just increases those heat index values like we saw up to 105, even possibly reaching 110. Now, throughout the morning hours, we are going to have a few isolated showers, which helps cool us off in the morning. Fortunately, just adds to the humidity later in the day. So what we're expecting, maybe 103 out in Joplin for heat index values, 105 in Parsons, 107 Independence, Newada, 108 in Sedan this Saturday. And then moving into Sunday, we really heat up mostly even into our eastern counties, 102 in Aurora, 103 still, 105 in Joplin, 109 in Parsons. Then we get up to those 110, 111, 112 out in those western counties, Fredonia, Yates Center, Sedan, Independence. Definitely going to be hot and humid all the way through midweek next week. We do have a couple of those rain chances. So tomorrow, very low risk. You can see that little sliver out in St. Clair County due to the storms mostly forming in Springfield, and then a very low chance on Sunday as well. So we've got our future track moving in. Few isolated showers in those northern counties, Yates Center, Parsons. It's going to be by 6 a.m. on Saturday, and you can start to see that line of storms pushing down into Springfield. Now, if you're out in those eastern counties, you might deal with some localized flooding threats as these storms do move in. The rest of us, very isolated chances of rain throughout the morning hours on Saturday, clearing out by about noon to 1 p.m. Then throughout the rest of the weekend, we may see a couple more chances of some hit and miss showers. Most of us only getting up to about 1/10 of an inch of rain for the entire weekend. Temperatures, Sunday, Monday, 97 degrees, starting to cool off a little bit Tuesday, Wednesday. Then Thursday night, we do have a cold front moving through in the evening time, dropping some thunderstorms, and it's going to also drop those temperatures from the mid 90s that we've seen all week to the mid 80s for next weekend.
All right, but it's definitely going to get hot this weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely. Take precautions. Stay inside if you can.
I've been enjoying the cooler weather. It's been nice.
Me too.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, coming up, how the Department of Justice is cracking down on landlords price-fixing rent. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is signaling interest rate cuts are likely coming. Chairman Powell made the remarks today during the central bank's annual symposium in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. He outlined the current status of the U.S. economy and how the Fed plans to proceed moving forward.
The time has come for policy to adjust. The direction of travel is clear, and the timing and pace of rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. With an appropriate dialing back of policy restraint, there is good reason to think that the economy will get back to 2% inflation while maintaining a strong labor market.
The Fed has kept interest rates elevated for 2 years in an attempt to ease rising prices. Financial markets anticipate a 0.25 percentage point cut when policymakers meet in September. The Justice Department is taking steps to help millions of Americans facing sky-high rents. The DOJ filed an antitrust lawsuit against a real estate company called RealPage. It alleges the Dallas-based firm has been engaged in price fixing by using AI-powered algorithms that allows landlords to coordinate rental price hikes. Well, some people are taking pampering your dog to a new level with expensive doggy perfumes. But some veterinarians are warning dog owners of possible problems. Michael George has a look.
I am fresh, irresistible, clean.
This is an actual ad for perfume for dogs.
Fefe, the new alcohol-free fragrance mist for dogs.
This $108 a bottle designer fragrance from Italian luxury fashion house Dolce & Gabbana is one of several pet perfumes on the market. And this Italian dog groomer likes the idea. A little dog at home on the couch next to us with a perfume is always pleasant, he says. But it doesn't pass the smell test with some veterinarians. Doctor, are pet perfumes safe?
So we do worry that they can irritate the skin. Any topical product can.
Dr. Sandra Fay is president of the American Veterinary Medical Association. She says perfumes could mask a potential medical issue.
It could cover up some odors that are important for us to detect. Perfect example, my dog has allergies and it manifests as an ear infection. And really the first thing that I notice is his ear smell.
She says these products could also interfere with the dog's sensitive sense of smell. Dolce & Gabbana says Fefe is safety tested and certified by Italy's Safe Pet Cosmetics organization. Dr. Fay says it's worth talking with your vet first before trying any new products.
They are not necessary. It's really important that we put their health and well-being before our aesthetic needs. Sit.
If you want your dog to smell better, the easiest solution, she says, is to give them a bath. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Just give them a bath. Final check of the forecast is next.
Hero.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, more on the shakeup for the race for the White House. And then on KOAM News at 6, we'll hear more from the mother of a 3-year-old, from the aunt of a 3-year-old dog mauling victim in Berry County, Missouri. Plus how folks in Girard, Kansas were able to adopt wild horses today. And it's Jamboree night for several high school football programs in Missouri. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Well, one of the world's largest rough diamonds has been unearthed from a mine in southern Africa. Lucara Diamond Corporation says it has recovered a nearly 2,500 carat diamond from a mine in Botswana. The company was able to detect the massive gem with its Mega Diamond Recovery X-ray transmission technology. I think that would look really pretty right here.
Yeah, you might not be able to walk around all the time with it, but
that's true. And my hand would hurt, but that's okay. Maybe a necklace.
Okay, you get working on that.
Final check of the weather?
Yeah, I'll talk about the weather. We've got warmer and humid temperatures this weekend, getting into the upper 90s, plus higher humidity, so heat index values in the triple digits, and then a few rain chances continuing through the week.
Well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. And we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.